Boys and girls, cats and dogs, welcome to a wonderful learning experience. We are going to start our module on geometry. As we go into this, our first lesson is about vocabulary and notation that you should already know coming into the class. So it's going to be a quick review of things you should already know. Okay. Number one, rigid motions. There are three rigid motions. Anybody name one? Frenetic, yes. What? Flip. Okay. Flip. Mathematically, we call it a reflection. Rigid motion, I'm sorry, by the way, we're going to quickly step back. A rigid motion is where you are working with an original image or original figure, and its image keeps the same shape and the same size. That's what makes it rigid, because it's keeping the same shape and the same size. For a figure to keep the same shape and the same size, that vocabulary word is the two figures are congruent. Very good. Okay, again, these are all the words you should know from previous years. So a flip and a reflection, if you think about your mirror image of your own self, you're going to end up with your exact same face, its exact same size. What's going to be different from the image and the original? They're backwards. The image is backward or reversed from the original. Give me another rigid motion. Mitch.
A rotation.
A rotation. Smartboards are really nice for rotations. If I take an image or a figure, and I click on the figure, a rotation, it keeps the same size, same shape, only it spins or rotates around in a circle. Okay, this is a rotation the whole time, keeping the original shape, it's just rotated. Any questions on a rotation or an example thereof? Okay, and the third and final rigid motion, I'm going to show you my wall. Ms. Whitstock, go and tape the wall really quick. That's a wonderful example of the third one, which is what, Mesker?
A translation.
This is a translation. The original figure was drawn right here. From there, this original figure slid both to the side and up and down, and then to the side to get all its images. Okay, so a translation is the third one, and it's known as a slot. Any questions on what rigid motions are? Sorry.
And the way to remember them is reflection has flip, and translation has slide. Because, word association.
Yeah, we did it too.
Did you? You're awesome. It's because you heard me this morning.
Yeah. The other vocabulary that you should have coming in, when you have an original figure, we will go back to the figure on my smartboard. If I were to create an image of this figure, okay, slide it to the side. On my original, you saw this was my original, I label a point P. Here is my original point on my original figure. To create the image so you know that this point and this point are the same, Ms. Driscoll taught you P prime, okay, showing that these two angles will have the exact same measurement, or the exact same spots on the figure. Okay, it shows you without the prime notation. This is your original figure. With the prime notation, you know that this is an image of this exact figure. This year we are going to study a new notation. Okay, this is also an image of this original point. Okay, they put an F in front of it, and then in quotations is a point letter. We happen to use P. If I were to label this point Q, this point right here would be labeled of Q. Okay, F of Q. It is the image, or we can do a Q with a notch or a notation. Any questions on those markings? You can tell the original figure from the image according to its notation marks. When you have congruent shapes, if I find the length of PQ, what does that mean about the length of the image PQ? How are their lengths going to compare? They are going to be the exact same. Are there any questions on some of the old vocabulary I'm expecting you to come in with?